41 votes. And of course, there were others who were of similar mind. So the Democratic whip, Mr. Clyburn, called the White House when we were told that the Senate had taken the construction funds out. And he said that I'm the whip and I'm in charge of counting votes, but I will not whip for it, I will not vote for it, and I will encourage all my colleagues in the Congressional Black Caucus not to vote for it, which they're inclined not to do unless there's money for school construction. Well, within 10 minutes, they were able to strike a compromise with the White House, and Senator Collins agreed that, well, you take the line item out, but under the other provisions of the education funding, construction was authorized and included, although it was not included as a line item. So while there's no school construction line item, it is among the municipal uses of the funds. Yes, sir.
I'm very glad that both chambers of Congress did pass the S-chip, and of course you did that last year, and of course President Bush vetoed it at that time, and it could have been twice, and it could have been in effect by now, and we could get these funds for the children and such. So I'm very glad that that has happened, and thank you very much for voting for that.
Congressman, other than the increase in the federal funds for Medicaid, can you give us a sense of the timing as far as disbursement or allocation of funds that have flowed through the states? When can we expect, and how will it be staggered, if so?
Well, obviously the construction money, much of it will not be able to flow immediately, but shovel-ready projects were the ones that are targeted. That's within 180 days for contracts to be let. The unemployment extension will be immediate. The bill has been signed into law, so that will go forth almost immediately. So those, most of the things that can be done immediately, food stamps, for example, that will happen immediately. So the addition in the amounts, the additional eligibility for those will go into effect immediately. It'll take some time for the others to actually work its way through the system, but each of the cabinet secretaries is being urged to move forward with dispatch. When I get back on next week, I know that some of my colleagues have already been talking about a letter to the president asking him to have each cabinet secretary to designate a person with responsibility of facilitating the recovery with states and local community groups, so that there's one person within an agency that will oversee that and will facilitate our understanding and your understanding of how to best do this and do it quickly.
I have a question, Congressman. I know that you're going to be addressing the Georgia House and Senate later today.
No, I did it yesterday.
Oh, you did it yesterday?
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, what would you tell them about how you hope they'll use those federal dollars? What are your hopes for how Georgia will use the money that you fought so hard for?
Well, on yesterday I did suggest to them that this was a problem that we all face. It wasn't a Democrat problem or a Republican problem. It was a Georgia and an American problem, and that together we needed to tackle it, and we needed to join hands, and we had provided a stimulus which I hope would be used to target those folks who needed it and those communities that needed it the most. And I got a pretty favorable response. After addressing the House, I went to the Senate, same message. And of course, after addressing the Senate, I went down and spoke with the governor. The governor indicated that he was grateful